Are you ready to take your quilting to the next level? Whether you're just starting or looking for fresh inspiration, the Elevate Box Club is designed just for you. As one of our club members, you'll receive a quarterly box packed with exclusive tools, patterns, and fabric to bring your projects to life. We host live classes every month, plus recorded lessons available anytime on our Sew Study University. Join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for live inspiration on YouTube. We have a club for everyone. Choose from our ruler work club, our pattern only club, or the Elevate Box Club. Want it all? We also have a Get It All club, combining ruler work and embroidery collections. Whatever your style and no matter your skill level, the Elevate Box Club is here to help elevate your creativity. We never stop learning together.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Donelle McAdams, and I'm here with you for Odd Monday. And tonight we're going to talk about some of the things that are going to be in the winter Elevate box. And if you did not join us on December the 18th, that's when we had the launch for that. And I believe you can still get all the special promos and get involved in all of that good stuff until December 31st. So if you haven't made up your mind whether you're going to do that or not, maybe tonight's class will help you decide that, yeah, maybe I want to do the Elevate box. So what I have here is what we did last time. And that was showing you how to do all over patterns with several of our templates, whether it be the background fills that I have that you see on this side, or maybe it is the, I was using my Christmas motifs and putting lines in between. And so I merged these together. I really liked that a lot. And what we're going to show you tonight kind of is just a takeoff of that with some of the new things that are going to be in this Elevate box. So I've already drawn some lines here, actually even stitched these lines. So these lines here are 1.5 inches apart side to side. And these are 2 inches, and that's because I'm going to do 2 different templates. Well, they're on the same template, but 2 different designs made from that template. So one of the new things that is going to be in the box is what is called the line matrix ruler. Now, this one is spaced 1 inch apart. So what you can do with that, when I did this particular one here, these are 1.5 inches. So I just took my ruler and laid it down beside, and I made a mark on 1.5 inches, 3, 4.5, 6, and went right on up. And then I just came back with this, and there are lines on the side, so I could just line it up so that I could get it straight, and made this line. Then I just moved it up to where the next hash mark was to make this line. So I was able to do that. Now, when I got over to this one, because this is 2 inches apart, that means this way it's 2 inches apart. So I was able to just lay this on here and do every other one. And it just made it very easy. So this is one of the new tools that's going to be in the box this time. And you can see it's got diagonals. So if I wanted to do something this way, such as cross-hatching markings, so many different things that you can do with that. So one of the templates that I showed you last week or 2 weeks ago probably was this one that I use all the time. And this is the 12-inch straightaway tool by Donna McCauley. And this was what I did to stitch. And you can see I just turned and went across up here at the top and came back down to get my lines. So in other words, this is called line work because we are creating some lines and then we're putting designs between those lines. And there's going to be a pamphlet in this next set of templates that's going to give you even more ideas. So the template I'm going to be using tonight is in the box, and it's a Spinifex Snowflake number 10. And you have not received any of this because these haven't even been shipped yet, but you're going to get a head start because of what I'm going to show you tonight. So we're going to start over here in the smaller ones first. And it doesn't matter whether I start at the bottom and move to the top or start at the top and move to the bottom. So I'm just going to start right down here. And you'll notice on this template, there is a line across there. Now that line happens to be the bottom that it's going to stitch, the very bottom that it's going to stitch. And so what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be stitching this part of the template, and then I'll stitch a straight line. I will move up and I will stitch this part of the template, and I'll stitch a straight line so that you can get the idea of how this works. So let's get over here to our machine so that you can see. And I'm going to line that up. Now, in this case, this edge and this edge are exactly 1.5 inches apart, which means when I stitch it, it will be centered in that spacing. So I'm just going to line that up. And I have found, this is just kind of a little bit of an experiment, or from an experiment, that I have found that in the case of this, I need to actually start up a little ways to come down. And if you don't, let me even show you what happens. You get something funny like this looking. And we don't want that. So in order to get this look, you've got to start up in here just a little bit more. And it doesn't matter whether you do it right side up or upside down, but I'm going to start right in here. Be a good idea if I set my machine to ruler work, wouldn't it? So I'm going to set that down. I'm going to put my needle down and bring it up. And I just need to remember that every single time I come around here, I need to be touching the edge. Because if you don't, you're not going to get uniform design. So I'm going to come down. And I'm going to go all the way up to the line. And the line is actually just to the side of this particular, this is called a needle path. And so I'm not going to be using this, so I'm not going to have to tie that off. So you can see what this is going to look like. So I'm going to move up again. I'm going to make sure it's side to side. And you can see where I'm at now. Well, that's where I'm going to be each time. So I'm going to go up here so that when I trace, I will be accurate. Okay, so I stopped at that line. I'm moving up, getting it centered, up a little farther than the top of that part of the design, and up to the line. So I think you can see how easy this is to get a creative design and yet create a background fill. Now, it doesn't have to be a background fill. You could use it for even a border if you wanted to. So now what we're going to do is we are going to stop here because that's where our pathway actually ended. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that foot up, and that's where that's going to end. Now I can come across and come back down the same shape, or I could turn it around. So what I'm going to do is, let's see here. I'm going to come across. I wouldn't have had to take this out. And that's another thing that's cool about this. Let me show you. There is a line, a straight edge over here. So I can line that up and I'll get right to the middle by going to that line. So let's just go ahead and do that. And now what we're going to do is a straight edge, which I should have left it on the outside for that one. I can still do this though, but I need to go straight here because I'm going to have this so they offset. So let's just go ahead and make this easy on ourselves. I'm going to put that bottom right there, line this edge up, and come right to there. We'll put this back in, and now to get this where we want it, this needs to be right there. That line is going right across there. This time we'll stop at the bottom. And I can go ahead, that's why I've got these green arrows here. I can come straight down and stop there. I'm going to move it down to there. Actually, I guess I didn't even need to move that out of the way. If I line this up, I can do the whole thing when I'm going this direction. So I'm going to come down and line that up. I think you can see why I was showing you need to go back up into that a little ways. Now I'm going to turn it this way and use this to come straight across into the center. And now we're going to go back up, and the first thing is this little guy. Stop at the line, move it up, line it up. And I think you will notice how beneficial having those cross lines are so that we can get this diagonal going real easy there. I'm not going to challenge you, but I'm going to tell you it is very difficult to just do this part here without coming up some of that distance. I've tried every which way I know how, and if you wanted it to be totally done twice, I suppose you could do that. So you can see now, I'm going to go ahead and just cut this. Obviously, it would look a whole lot better if I erased all those lines, but I've got my diagonals going. Maybe if I pull it up like this so you can see it a little bit better. I've got my diagonals going through that, and it was all done just by the fact that I had this line here lined up at the bottom when I started, and when I was coming down, I can line that same line up. So like in this case, it was lined up right there on that line. So that's one end. And now this design is wider. So that's why I have this, and I'm going to turn it this way. And again, it fits right in the middle there. And so I'm going to start about right there. Pull up that bobbin thread. This is a little bit different. I can't wait to show you another design that I'm going to show you here in a minute. And we're going to go clear up to there. Again, I'm just going to trim these out. Move this up. Again, I need to go up in a little ways. Up to the line and stop. Move up. Line up. And it doesn't matter whether you go left or you go right. So I'm just going to get this design in, not the longer piece. Although I've got to go up a little bit. And I'm going to go over. But I'm not going to get all the way over until I move this to get it right there in the center. Now when I come down, I've got a straight line to right here. So I got to get this over just a little bit more. Come that far. Don't get too excited and go too far. Whoa, 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 Donelle, you don't have any line there. And so now that I'm right there, okay, I see what I need to do. I need to go back up just a bit and now line this up so that I can come down and do that design. Now you can create your own pattern. It doesn't mean that you have to have them going into a diagonal. I just kind of like that. And now we're going to come down with a straight line. Something's throwing my mind off. I guess I'm correct. It's kind of one of those, this doesn't look right, but it is. This one you got to go back up in there a little bit too. Come down, line up. And once you get the markings on this, if you came in late, you might want to go back and watch the first part because I talked about how you would mark it. And we're going to go over here. And again, I can't get over there in one time. So go to the middle. line it up. I'm checking behind to make sure it's lined up. And like I said, of course, you could switch and have it going the other way. Move up. And it would be fun too. It would take a little bit of a challenge, but you could mix these together. But remember, one of them is longer than the other one. So you would have to really work at that. Not hard, but can't wait for you to see the pamphlet you're going to get on using these line works. Just when you think you've kind of got everything, you find out, oh my gosh, there's even more you can learn to do. So there's how that one would be. You can see it going in the diagonal. I'm really super excited about showing you this next little bit with this. And on this one, I'm going to be using the 6-point crosshair. And if you haven't heard me talk about this, rather than getting the big 6-point like this, if you just buy the miniature, what we call the mini crosshair squares, it's only about 4 inches. This is 6, so it's less than that. But it gets you what you need to have, and then you can always extend the lines. So you don't have to feel like you have to buy one of these big ones. Just purchase the minis, and then you can just extend the lines. So I've got those lines there. And I'm going to draw across here so I have my center line. All right, so we're going to take this particular template and use this end. And there are numbers here. And you just need to decide which one you're going to go by. I'm going to use the one, and I don't know that it's necessarily 6.5, but I think if you use that number there, from here to there would be 3.25, so the whole thing would be 6.5. So this is fun to work with. So I'm going to start right there in the center and pull up that thread. And we're going to go ahead and put that foot back down and needle back down. And I have to keep using that same spot right there to keep my design symmetrical. You know what? Let's just turn this around and do it so it's in front of us. So it's like that. And I have a line down here to match up. And we're coming right back to the center. And we're going to go over here. On this one, I felt like I needed more than just the corners for stable tape, so I put 6 pieces on here so that, like right now, I'm not using the other end. I'm putting my pressure right here, and if I didn't have any stable tape in this place, then I don't think it would be as effective. So let's take a peek and see what that looks like. Well, that's pretty, just like it is. I like that. I'm going to see what happens when I put in between. Get that right in the center. I don't know that I like that very well, but you never know until you try. Too many lines there that are not in the right place, in my opinion. So I'm going to redo what I just did. So I'm just going to stop at that right there. It's okay, but there's just too many lines that don't make sense. So what I'm going to do is take this design and put it in closer so that these will touch. That's what my whole goal was on that one. So let's get that 6 point again. I hope it's not freezing up on my end. I just now saw somebody said there's just freezing up. This should work. All I'm doing is changing the position. I was at that 6.5 mark. I'm moving to the 6. And then maybe they'll touch or even overlap. I wanted to close up that space. We'll know right now whether that works or not. It's a lot closer. See, you guys are talking about the temperature. It got to 66 here yesterday, and now the last I looked, we were down to 16. Crazy, crazy. So if you've not decided yet whether you're going to join the winter box, this is just some of what's in that. I like that. I got a thread that got caught and went around the circle, so let's just cut that out. Because now we've kind of got an interior design going there. So you can see how pretty that looks as a snowflake. And when you originally look at it, you don't know for sure if this was done with a separate template or if it was done with the same one. Now, if I put this on something that's wintry, yes, it looks like a snowflake. But guess what? I can use it for a lot of other things too, for designs that go in any kind of a, whatever you want to do. And one of the things that I think I'm having a blast with, and I think I did a class on this a couple of years ago, was the fact that you can do all over quilting like this, just spot quilt wherever you want, and then go back and take a template. Let me see if I can find one here. Well, the one I wanted is my feather spine. So like if I was connecting these two designs here, I could just pick a spot and do a curvy line from one to the other to connect it. And I'm not a free motioner. You guys have heard me say that over and over and over. So I would have to have something that had some shape to it. See what I can do with this. So if I put my template there, I like the free flowingness of the spine, but you can see what I mean here by just connecting to, and in that case, I just used my edge here to get from one to the other. So I can't remember. I think I can vaguely remember. It was just a big quilt that I did, and then I just went and did a lot of different designs, and then went back and used my curvy wave, or I should say the feather spine, and connected them together. I also did one with hearts with the circle templates, and that was kind of fun to do too. So anyway, well, I just wanted to show you what is going to be in our next Elevate box, and also show you how you can use straight lines and fill in for whether it be background fills or borders or whatever. So I hope this gave you a little bit of an idea of how you can use those templates. I will give you a peek at what the other template is in the box. It's this one here. It kind of looks like an arrow, but you can use just one end, and you can see how there's fun things there. It also has a circle in it, so you can use the circle to make connections there. So thanks for joining me, and I haven't looked at the calendar to see what the date would be on the next class, because it's not like you can just say it's every 2 weeks, because if there's 31 days, then it kind of sets it off. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I want to wish everyone a very happy new year. I can't believe how long we've been doing this. And it's so much fun to share knowledge. Just when you think you've got it all, there's always something more. So have a great New Year's. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Are you ready to take your quilting to the next level? Whether you're just starting or looking for fresh inspiration, the Elevate Box Club is designed just for you. As one of our club members, you'll receive a quarterly box packed with exclusive tools, patterns, and fabric to bring your projects to life. We host live classes every month, plus recorded lessons available anytime on our Sew Study University. Join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for live inspiration on YouTube. We have a club for everyone. Choose from our ruler work club, our pattern only club, or the Elevate Box Club. Want it all? We also have a Get It All Club, combining ruler work and embroidery collections. Whatever your style and no matter your skill level, the Elevate Box Club is here to help elevate your creativity. We never stop learning together.